Hey there, and welcome to video blog number 2, and today is all about the power of giving, something that is very near and dear to my heart, and is something that I know a lot of people that I follow and that I interact with also talk a lot about how it's impacted their life. So I'm going to share some stuff today that is both on the personal side and on the professional side of how giving can actually benefit you. So you're getting while giving, which is, hey, not a bad thing, right? So let's talk about the personal side of things first, because giving is a very personal thing to do. Sometimes it's hard, especially if you don't feel like you have enough time or you have enough money or you have enough resources. Just a little bit of any of those is really going to go a long way. It doesn't take thousands and thousands of dollars or hours and hours of time. It could be a minute. It could be $1. It could be something that you just do in a very minimal sense. It's the action of giving that is what triggers positivity in our minds, in our souls, and also in the environment around us. So it's always a good idea to give whenever you can, but it doesn't, again, have to be monumental. It's just the little things that make a difference. And a lot of these are very scientifically proven. I'm not going to tell you something that's not scientifically proven. So number one, science has proven that giving actually reduces your levels of stress. In a social experiment conducted, there were two groups of people, one that gave and another group of people that were more stingy with their resources, whether it was their time or their money. And actually, the group that gave more than the group that kept their things had lower levels of stress, where the ones that were more stingy had higher levels of cortisol, which was more stressful because they were actually feeling guilty about keeping the things that they have. So it's intrinsic to our nature to want to give and help people. It's something that happens along the line that people want to be stingy and hold back the resources that they have. And whatever that may be, it's obviously going to be very subjective to that individual, but it truly does cause undue stress that you shouldn't be carrying. So personal factor number 2, it contributes to the greater good of society. Again, more science coming at you. 2 test groups, one group that was more cooperative and giving and considerate and empathetic of the people on their team. And then there was a team of people that were a little bit more competitive and had an individual agenda attached to what they were doing. Obviously, the group that is more cooperative is going to be more successful. They were more successful in the encounter, and they had more psychological benefits from cooperating and working together, that transfer of positive energy. It just goes to show you that generosity, given to generosity, given back to generosity, and then maybe giving back to generosity with a thank you here and there, just plays better for everybody. So point number 3, that is a little bit more science coming at you, it is actually scientifically proven that you will die sooner if you are selfish. So not only is it beneficial to give and be more thoughtful of others psychologically, you're going to have longer to do it. Who wants to die early? I mean, especially if you're living a really good life and you're giving and exchanging that positive energy, you're actually going to live longer. So those 3 reasons, the fact that you have lowered stress, the fact that you're contributing to the greater good of society, and you're not going to die early, those 3 make pretty good sense to me, especially that last one. That last one's pretty key and critical. And the best part about giving is not expecting in return. That is the key to generous, thoughtful giving, is not to do it with an agenda. Think about any time that you have paid it forward in Starbucks line or in a drive-through line. If you haven't done it, it's actually a really fun thing to do something that you know is going to make somebody else happy. Even if they're not considerate, you're not there to see it. Take a couple bucks. Next time you're in a drive-through, wherever it may be, just buy the person's coffee or meal or whatever it is behind you in line, and then you drive off. You don't know what the result is, but chances are it made them feel really good. So give that a shot. It's a great example of how you can give back at a very low cost, unless you're at Starbucks. Sometimes it gets a little pricey, but it's a really good option as far as practicing giving back and being generous and thoughtful. So let's talk about the professional benefits to giving and being more generous in your professional life. Especially if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, giving back and being generous and thoughtful is a really good way to initially build the brand identity of your business or of yourself as a business person. This is really prevalent in the world that I live in, especially with motivational speakers, content creators, anybody who is really trying to build up their initial brand. Giving content away or doing things for people that you may not get paid for, or just taking the time to be thoughtful and contribute to somebody to help them along the way. That really sets you forward in a really strong personal brand. Now, I know a lot of people that have gone into the entrepreneur business that they're so worried about the startup cost that they don't want to give anything away. They want to sell everything. There's a cost associated with everything. And what I say to those people is that I understand that you're stressed about making your money back, but the chances are if you're a little bit generous and charitable on the front end, that's going to come back and benefit you in the long run. Maybe it's part of your content. Maybe it's a smaller part of your content that you're building. Or if you're trying to write a book, maybe you give away a couple of chapters just to get feedback from people. But giving that content away just really establishes your brand as an individual. The more people understand who you are as an individual, again, giving without an agenda, giving without some sort of an idea of reciprocation, just doing it because it feels like the right thing to do, and not worrying about what you get on the back end, that giving nature will cascade throughout your network. People will start talking about how thoughtful you are, how generous you are. As long as you're doing it with a very sincere personality and a very sincere heart, it is something that can drastically increase your brand and increase your network, because people will understand that you are a very good individual. So if you think about all the people that you've either come in contact with or that you work directly with in the professional world, think about all of their profiles. If you think of just the grand scope of people, you can easily pick out those that are extremely generous, those that are very thoughtful of others, and those that are just genuinely good people. You can also pick out the other end of the spectrum. Where do you want to be on that scale? Do you want to be known as the giver and the more generous individual and somebody who people want to work with because of that fact? Or do you want to be the taker, the non-sincere, the advantageous individual that is just going to constantly take and take and take and take and never give back? Which one do you want to be? I think you'd probably want to be on this end by just doing simple things, whether it's giving people your time, giving people resources, or giving people knowledge. People appreciate that. Coworkers appreciate it. Other people in the industry appreciate it. So reach out to somebody or just offer to lend a helping hand to somebody who may need it. Starting that generous path is going to give you more benefit than detriment. Professional tip number 2, generosity leads to loyalty. Think about anybody that you've worked with or worked for. Are they generous? Are they sincere? Are they somebody who is very much a giver versus a taker? If you think about that individual, you're willing to do anything for them. You're willing to do extra work. You're willing to work late. You're willing to take on something that maybe is a little bit outside of your scale because you're wanting to do for those that are doing for you. You want to do everything you can to support and work alongside and with that individual. On the flip side, if you're somebody who ridicules or takes or is very insincere or is negative, how many people are going to leave you? How many people are going to walk away from you? Or what is that breaking point that somebody is just tired of your crap and wants to move on to a better opportunity for themselves, from not just from a professional standpoint, either a job title or monetary, but a lot of people leave the work that they're in because the individual that they're working with or working for is not generous, is not thoughtful, is not a good person. So they want to move on because you don't want to spend that much of your life working for somebody who is just taking and taking and taking from you. And professional tip number 3, your clients will love you. When dealing with your clients, they understand that they're buying things from you on a constant basis. They're buying products or services or time from you because they need you for these things. If you're constantly going to somebody and giving them money for something, and then all of a sudden you get something free in return, maybe it's time, maybe it's some unbillable hours, maybe it's a free product, maybe it's a free service, that is going to thrill them. And not that you're buying their loyalty or trying to bribe their loyalty by doing this, but if you just genuinely say, hey, look, you've been a very loyal customer. I want to give you your next order is on me. I want to show my gratitude to you for doing what you do for me to support my business. Or I'm going to come visit you and sit down and take you to lunch because I want to hear more about your business. If you're an attorney or an accountant or anybody that provides a professional service, any kind of business consultant, I want to hear more about your business and how I can help you. That goes such a long way in the relationship. So try that with your client soon. Give them a free product, give them a free service, give them half off of something, give them a free non-billable trip to their site to visit them and meet them and work with them as far as they're achieving their business goals. Again, you don't have to break the bank with things like this. I remember when I was in medical sales, one of my first clients, I was so gracious to them for being my first client. Every time I visited them, I took them a bag of Dairy Queen Dilly Bars. Cost me maybe $9 a trip. And I was there maybe once a month, twice a month. So $18 a month for a client that was spending thousands upon thousands of dollars with me. I know it sounds silly that a dilly can bring that kind of loyalty, but hey, it worked. How did I know it worked? Because my competition told me it did. There was a guy that sold against me in the territory that went in and tried to pitch my account. You know what they told him? Don't ever bother coming back in here again because we get the best client service from Rich. Yes, I gave them their product on time. Yes, I took care of them. Yes, I gave them in services, but it was the little things that I was doing that came back to benefit me, that put me over the top, that differentiated me. So again, on the professional side, generosity can help build your brand and your network, increase loyalty with the people that you work with and for, and then also your clients will love you for being generous. Everybody wants to give to the givers. They don't want to give to the takers. If you have a chance to spend money with somebody who is a giver or a taker, which would you choose? Somebody who's more generous, obviously. So again, being generous needs to be a part of your daily routine, but please do not do it with an agenda or an expectation of something coming back to you. Do it because it feels right. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And I promise you, you will see a better lifestyle for yourself, and you'll start seeing more positive things coming back to you because the world appreciates generous people. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video blog. I hope this made you feel warm and fuzzy and generous inside, and that you're off into the world to be generous, to be giving, and to experience that fantastic positive energy that comes back with being generous and all the things that come along with it. I'm incredibly grateful that you gave me your time to listen. So let me know what I can do for you. If there's a project you're working on, if there's something that you need some encouragement on, if there's a topic that you want me to talk about, reach out to me at rich@richbracken.com. You can also reach me through the website richbracken.com, and also on social media. You can find all of my handles, all of my accounts on richbracken.com. So please let me know what I can do for you, because I appreciate you doing this for me. Thank you for watching the video blog today. Make sure you subscribe, because I've got all kinds of great new content coming along. So thank you for watching, subscribing, and sharing. I really appreciate you. Have a great day.